Hey guys, welcome to Full Out Flying Solo. I want to talk about body cam footage today because I feel like we're seeing a lot of it. And I feel like every time it comes up in my YouTube algorithm, I'm like, I'm not going to watch that. That is incredibly invasive. And as I'm thinking that, my finger is clicking on it to watch it because I'm like, I have to see this like immediately. Like, I feel bad that it's out there, but if it's out there, somebody's got to watch it, right? I don't know. It's just like a weird thing. It's good that it's available. I don't know why TMZ needs to share it, but God, I have watched every single thing that TMZ has shared because Taylor Frankie Paul's body cam footage, I feel like made us all be like, oh my God, that is so sad. Like so sad. But then Justin Timberlake's body cam footage, I'm going to say something very controversial, kind of made me like him more. I was like, I know you got a DUI and that's bad. He should not have been drinking and driving. I think I should be his publicist because I think I would have gone about it in a totally different way because he's very respectful in his body cam footage. He's making jokes. Not jokes that are like not taking it seriously, but he just felt more like a real person to me than I think he should have come out, because I think he fought so hard to keep this body cam footage from being released that it made everybody think it was going to be him just like cussing somebody out, like losing his shit on people and stuff. Like I thought it was going to be bad. And to me, I was like, oh, this is like a respectful Southern gentleman who got a DUI. I mean, that's not great, you know? He should have been like, okay, I'm going to rehab. I have a drinking problem or whatever. I know it wasn't good what I did. I think he should have gone on like a late night show. They should have showed it on the late night show. They should have like found like a funny angle to it to be like, this is bad. It's going to come out. Because the whole time he's like, there's one point where he's like, thank you guys for doing your job. You're doing a great job. And the cops are like, thank you for being so respectful, blah, blah. Like that's not body cam. I think maybe he wanted to keep it hidden from his wife. I feel like Jessica Biel was like, I was pissed about it, but I'm like, is that even true? Like, I don't know. He did lie and say he had one martini when clearly he had like multiple. But I do feel like, okay, these are my highlights of Justin Timberlake's body cam footage if you haven't watched it. There's a part where they're trying to get him to walk a straight line and they're trying to get him to do 8 steps, heel toe, turn, 8 steps back, heel toe. And he cannot do it. He keeps being like, wait, I'm still confused. I've never done this before. I'm still confused. And I was like, every single choreographer who has ever worked with this guy is sitting there watching this footage being like, get it together. It's 8 steps, heel toe, turn. Justin, you got this. Like, we've all watched this like international pop sensation superstar dance his ass off. And he's like trying to act like he's confused by doing 8 steps across and saying that's from one martini. I'm like, we know you're wasted. My other favorite part is when they pull him over and they're like, what? He's in a rental car and they're like, what are you in town for? And he's like, world tour. And they're like, what? World tour? And he's like, yeah, how do I say this? World tour? And they're like, of what? And he goes, I'm Justin Timberlake. And they're like, you're Justin Timberlake? And like, I'm just like, this guy is not being like this could have been such good late night material, this body cam footage. He's not being like, do you know who I am? I'm Justin Timberlake. His friend is like in a car pulled over next to him. And she's like, guys, come on, do him a favor. You all love bye, bye, bye. Like, blah, blah, blah. I really wanted him to do the like heel toe turn and then be like, bye, bye, bye. I'm like, if he would have done that, he wouldn't have gone to jail. I feel like he didn't play into who he is at all. He just took it like a normal person. And then I thought that was the end of it. And then the next day, TMZ gave us the footage of Justin Timberlake getting booked at the jail cell. And I was like, well, I'm not going to watch this. Of course I'm going to watch this. So I watched it. And okay, these are the highlights. There's a part where he's looking, they've like written down his like name, age, like all his stats and whatever, and they're making him check it over to make sure it's correct. And he's reading the form, and then he looks at them and he goes, white? White? And he goes, just get it, man, I'm white. Like, and I was like, he's making bits with the cops about his, I just was like, this is funny. Like, this is like a nice guy to book. He's like making jokes. He knows it sucks to be there for them. He's making their time better. And then the other good part is like when they like are putting him in the jail cell, and he's like, wait, you guys have to sleep here all night? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, wait, but all night? And he goes, you guys are wild. And I'm like, no, you're wasted. And you got a DUI. Yeah, you have to sleep in there. It's like, he realizes what's actually happening to him. But I mean, you know, and then there's a part where he's like handcuffed. He's got handcuffs on, and he's sitting at this table, and then he goes, is this like normal protocol? Is this what you guys normally do? And they're like, yeah, like if you get a DUI, this is normal. He's like, okay, just checking to make sure he's getting like the normal treatment. Anyways, why did we see that? That's so weird that we saw that, right? I feel like, thank God body cam footage wasn't around when I was in high school and I like got arrested all of these times in high school, because I got arrested for underage drinking a lot and was like in jail cells a lot. And I was such an idiot. The first time I got arrested, I was 14. I was wearing a tube top from Express. I remember it was like a reversible colored tube top. I was so sunburned and I looked like a tomato. I had braces. Like when I was 14, I still had 8 baby teeth. So they had to pull all 8 of my baby teeth. So I had braces with just wire that went across my mouth when I got arrested the first time. And I was on crutches because I had a broken ankle. And I was so drunk in this jail cell, and they were like, your mom's here. And I'd never gotten in trouble for drinking before. So I was like so scared of what my mom was going to do that I told them I wasn't going to go home with my mom. I was like, no, I'm not going home with her. And they're like, no, you have to go home with your mom. My mom is the sweetest, nicest little lady from Texas. She's always smiling. So much so that like when I was in elementary school, she won the most smiley award at my school. And the award was for students. And somehow my mom got the award. And I didn't even get an award. And my mom shows up to the jail to get me. And all my friends have gone with their parents. There was like 5 of us. And I'm on crutches, 14, look like I'm like 9, like no teeth. And I'm like, I'm not going home with her. And like, you're going to have to stay the night here. We're going to throw you in a cell with Big Bertha, and who knows what she'll do to you if you stay. And I was like, do it, fine. I'm not going home with her. I'm staying here. And they sent my friends in the jail cell to convince me to go home with my mom. They were like, you should go home with your mom, Britt. Like, and so I ended up going home with my mom. But like, if there was footage of that would be so embarrassing, because I just was like such a stubborn teenager being like, no, I'm not. And then the next time I got arrested, that happened to me. I got grounded for like 3 weeks. My stepdad wrote me a letter and let me out of my grounding a week early and was like, we think you've learned your lesson, you're responsible, like we know, like blah, blah, blah. And I went out the first night being out of grounded, and I got arrested for the exact same thing. I got arrested my first night out of being grounded for underage drinking. And I went back to jail. And at this point I was like, been there, done that. And I knew all the things. I was like, I'm not rolling in the breathalyzer because I will have to pay a higher fine. And so I started telling all my friends, like, you know, don't do this, blah, blah, blah. So much so that they separated me from all my friends and put me in a different room because I was like causing problems for the cops because they weren't able to do the job they wanted to do because I was telling all the secrets. So I don't know. I'm glad there's no video of that because I like to just remember it the way I remember it in my mind. I feel like that's not video that I would want coming out. But listen, if it did, I would find a humorous way to bring it out. I feel like I learned my lesson clearly. Well, the third time after I got arrested. I got arrested again when I moved to Houston from Chicago. That's where I was getting arrested all the time. We moved to Houston in the middle of my senior year. I went back to Chicago for prom because my boyfriend lived in Chicago. My mom dropped me off at the airport and she goes, Brittany, just do not get arrested. And I was like, I'm not going to get arrested, Mom. Guess what? I got arrested. And on the night after prom, got arrested, went to jail. Like, my boyfriend at the time, his mom, we didn't come home for curfew, and she's like, let me just call all the jails and see if they're there. And like, guess what? We were in one of them. And they picked me up. His car had been towed. My suitcase was in the back of his car, and I needed to go to the airport at 10 a.m. I had a 10 a.m. flight. So we went straight from jail to the tow truck place to get the car. His parents let him drive me to the airport. And like, they must just like really hate taking people to the airport because I was still kind of buzzed from the night before. So like, we got out of jail, picked up the car, and he drove me straight to the airport. And at this point, I still thought my mom had not found out that I had been arrested. My mom picks me up from the airport, and I could tell that like my boyfriend at the time's parents had told her. And she was like, I can't believe you like went to Chicago and got arrested. So, you know, I just had like bad luck with the cops. If you were around me, you were going to get arrested. Kind of, that was Chicago, like suburb, like outskirts. They really liked to arrest people. In Texas, if the cops showed up at a party, they were like, give us the keg and you guys can just go home. If you give us the keg, you can go home. That's kind of was the vibe in Texas. So I think I just had bad luck. But I do feel like that I kind of stopped drinking once I turned 21 because it just like wasn't exciting to me anymore. I like the rebellious aspect of it. So luckily there's no body cam footage of that. And I feel like if you haven't seen Justin Timberlake's body cam footage, take a look. It's entertaining. And I think this is going to be something we're going to start seeing from now on. And I also feel like, is it going to curb people's behavior? Like, are they going to be on better behavior now because they know their body cam footage can be released? Because you should be thinking about that. If you're a celebrity and you get in any kind of encounter, just know that footage is coming out. So how do you want to be seen? And if you need a better publicist to get that footage out, I guess that's my new job. So hit me up. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Make sure you subscribe, follow us, and keep going full out. Thanks. Bye. Is that way too short?
Bad luck?
What? Bad luck? Yeah, that was...
Bad luck? Oh my God.
Okay, maybe that was bad decision making.
Bad luck.
I guess I need to do a post notes disclaimer. That wasn't bad luck. That was bad decision making. That on my part. I do take accountability for it. It was bad decision making, not bad luck. Okay, bye.